Hey, welcome to Smells Like Gen X, where we talk about all things 70s, 80s, and 90s. So today, pull up those Jordache jeans because we're going to talk about the most dangerous toys we had growing up Gen X style. Because if the Bermuda Triangle, quicksand, and the playground wouldn't finish the job, the stuff we had in our garage and bedrooms surely would. Now, of course, you can't do a most dangerous toy list from the Gen X without mentioning the obvious, Jarts. Now, if you don't know what a Jart is, imagine a big, giant, heavy dart. And what you would do is you'd take these and chuck them, kind of like horseshoes, and get them into a little plastic circle thing that you would lay on the ground. Problem is, that's not how we played with Jarts.
This isn't child's play, according to the Food and Drug Administration. The game is called lawn darts, and it is being exempted from a proposed ban by the FDA. The lawn darts manufacturer, R.B. Jarts of South Glen Falls, New York, argued against complaints in insisting that the lawn darts are not intended for young children. 2 deaths and a couple of other injuries to children are listed as a result of the game. A 4-year-old North Dakota child was killed while playing in a sandbox next to the lawn dart game. A 9-year-old Minnesota girl was reportedly killed at a picnic. The FDA list also said 1 child lost an eye and another required brain surgery after being hit in the skull.
If you were truly Gen X, you would play Jart Chicken. Now, if you're not Gen X, you're probably thinking, what is Jart Chicken? Simple. We take this aerodynamic dart that was heavy, chuck it up in the air as high as you could go, and then wait. And then whoever scattered lost. Yeah, totally safe. Now, I'm sure you figured out that lawn darts or Jarts could reach high speeds, they were sharp, and they have been known to impale skulls and impale people. In fact, thousands of injuries were reported, and even 3 deaths attributed to Jarts. And believe it or not, the ironic part about the deaths, they weren't even playing Jarts. They just happened to be at the wrong place at the wrong time. And if you happen to escape any injuries and even survive a giant dart sticking out of your head, you had to deal with cannibalizing dolls. This is more of a late Gen X zennial kind of thing, but I'm talking about Snacktime Cabbage Patch Kids.
She's my Cabbage Patch snack time kid. She really loves to snack. Wow, she really chews. Eating her is so much fun. Your banana's all gone. Let me feed her. And when you think she's through, look inside her backpack and like magic, wow, the snacks keep coming back.
Cabbage Patch Kids Snack Time Kit comes with all the play food you see here. Each sold separately, batteries not included. From Mattel.
Whoever pitched this idea, what the hell were you thinking? So, Cabbage Patch Kids were all the rage in the 80s. I had one. Yeah, smelled like baby powder. Man, that smelled good. But someone in the early 90s thought, I have an idea. Let's have Cabbage Patch Kids eat things. So they created a motorized doll that you could stick things in its mouth and it would nom, 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 nom. Problem is, there was no on-off switch on this thing. So whatever went into its mouth, it would eat. That meant fingers, any other weird things you want to stick in there. But the major one was hair. More than 100 reports came in of kids getting injured from Snacktime Cabbage Patch Kids. One girl's injury was so severe that the Snacktime Cabbage Patch Kid munched on her hair so hard, actually ripped her scalp. She was scalped by Xavier Roberts. Total dick move. And by 1997, Snacktime Cabbage Patch Kids went on a diet and were removed from stores. All right, so far, if you've survived giant darts and cannibalizing Cabbage Patch Kids, could you survive Shrinky Dinks? Man, I love doing those things. If you don't know what a Shrinky Dink is, nope, it's not when a man gets out of cold water. What Shrinky Dinks were was this weird piece of plastic that you would color in and then cut around the lines and then stick in an oven and they would shrink. Here, check out the commercial.
Make the sun shine.
Shrinky Dink!
Color in a shrinky dink, cut out a shrinky dink. Then Mom bakes it and right before you guys, your shrinky dink shrinks right down to size.
Like magic! Fabulous! Fantastic!
Then it's up to you what your shrinky dinks do.
Shrinky Dinks collector sets. You can collect them all.
Shrinky dinks make the fun shine.
By Color Forms.
Now, after watching that, you're probably thinking, well, that doesn't look too dangerous. What's wrong with that? 3 words. Open, unventilated oven. You see, the thing about Gen X is we didn't really have parental supervision much. So we would take it upon ourselves to make our own Shrinky Dinks. That means kids, sometimes very little, would turn the oven on, do all that stuff, and stick it in, get them to shrink, pull them out, and then touch the piping hot 400-degree plastic. Now, you're probably thinking, well, that's not that big of a deal. A couple burns, everyone gets burned. Okay, well, let's talk about the toxic fumes. I don't even know where to begin on that one, outside of they were toxic, they were very smelly, and it was some kind of weird plastic that no one knew what was in it. Now, Shrinky Dinks still exist. They just kind of changed up the plastic formula, so the fumes aren't so bad. And yeah, there's warning stickers now. All right, so if you're keeping score, we got giant darts that could hit you, cannibalizing dolls, 400-degree melted plastic that gives off toxic fumes, and now something that shows you the depravity of Gen X kids, what we were forced to play with, what we thought was entertaining. I mean, Gen X grew up with playing in dirt, throwing tennis balls against the wall. So this should not be a surprise to you when one of our toys was called the Clacker. Now, what is a Clacker and the hours of entertainment that it brought you? Check it out.
Unbreakable miracle clackers are for everyone, even the little guys. Do it with both hands for stereo clackers.
Believe it or not, that was a hot-selling toy. Now, if you really couldn't figure out exactly what they were, just imagine 2 very hard balls attached to strings, and then you would swing the strings around till the balls met each other, clacked, then bounced back, clacked again, and you just do this over and over again until you finally got bored of being bored. Now, the original versions, which predate me, I'm not that old, were made of hard glass or acrylic. Problem was, when you clack them, they were usually about eye level. They would shatter, send shards of glass and acrylic plastic into your face. Eye injuries were very common. Schools started banning them, and before you know it, they were 86th from the shelves. But a little birdie told me if you're really bored and want to clack, there's ways to get them. They've redesigned them a little bit, changed up the plastic, got rid of the glass. I mean, imagine countless hours of fun banging 2 balls together. All right, we've come down to the last most dangerous Gen X toy out there. And if you made it this far, thank you so much. Can you like and subscribe? Greatly appreciate it. This one of my favorites. Spent many summer days doing this. Also spent many summer days going, ow. It's the slip and slide. Or, as Gen X says, slip and slide.
Here's Wet Banana. You can dash and splash on Wet Banana like Billy. You can dip and flip like Ricky. Slippery wet fun for the whole gang. Could that be Mom on Wet Banana? It is! Regular Wet Banana, 25 feet long. And the new Wet Banana Super Slide, 30 feet long. Each sold separately.
All right, I know what you're thinking, right? You go, you just said slip and slide. That said Wet Banana. Same damn thing. Trust me, it's the same. They were both the same. It's like saying Q-tip. Q-tip is a brand, but we all know what a Q-tip is, right? It's that little cotton thing, but they're not all Q-tips. But they are all Q-tips. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, don't come at the hate there. Wet Banana, slip and slide. They still hurt like hell. And as you noticed, it is literally a piece of plastic, 15 to 30 feet long, that you stuck in the ground with essentially metal nails that also stuck up out of the ground. And yeah, you'd hit them. You'd hit them hard. You'd also hit every hard thing underneath the Wet Banana / slip and slide. I'm talking rocks, sticks, bumps, you name it. Oh, and have you noticed there's nothing at the end to stop you? So guess what would happen? Did you guess you'd keep going? You guessed right. Yeah, into a muddy pile of sticks, grass, dirt, rocks, anything sharp. You just keep going. Did you notice something in the commercial where they showed Mom going down? Well, guess what? Those things weren't designed for adults. Technically, the toys were designed for kids under 5 feet and under 100 pounds. Why so specific on that? Because when you run and leap onto freaking wet plastic. Underneath it, there's no padding. It's ground. It hurt. You were literally diving onto the ground. But as you saw in the commercial, adults and teens used them too. Well, this led to some problems. Nothing serious. Spinal cord injuries, a lot of broken bones. One, though, did lead to paralysis. So one of the creators of Slip and Slide / Wet Banana, Whammo, got sued. They got sued hard. Kind of like the ground underneath the Slip and Slide. And then they had to issue a warning labels. What are those? And it said not for use by adults. Now, you can still find Slip and Slides today, or variations of it. And guess what? They have padding now. And not these giant metal rods that stick out and fasten it to the hard ground underneath. And they even have a place now that stops you from going past into the dirt. Where's the fun in that? All right, before we end this video, I do have to make an honorable mention of a toy. Technically not Gen X. More boomer. Not more boomer, it is boomer. Probably what's wrong with them. But this one's cray-cray, as the kids say. Delulu, right? It is and I have to look this up, Gilbert U-238 Atomic Energy Lab. It is like what it sounds like. It is a freaking atomic energy lab kit you could buy. It's labeled as the most dangerous toy in U.S. history. It came out in 1950. So well before Gen X ever hit the scene. This company created this toy for kids to use to, and I quote, boost youth interest in atomic energy. Okay? But this thing was expensive even back then. $49.50 in 1950s money. This thing actually had, and I got to read it here, autunite, torbonite, uraninite, and carnotite, as well as a Geiger counter. It was literally freaking radioactive. And from what I read about this, very few sets were ever made. It wasn't that popular, although that would have been really cool to have. And there's only just a few complete sets still out there. In fact, one of them is in the Smithsonian. That's how rare this is. How come the boomers get all the cool shit? Well, that's the video for the most dangerous toys Gen X had. Hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the flip side.